Welcome to the Education Marketing Leader podcast with Chris Raposo. If you're looking to dive into the latest industry insights, draw inspiration from education success stories, or just want to sharpen your marketing skills, you're in the right place. Here, we bring you a diverse range of voices from experts and leaders in the field, offering you a unique blend of professional development and practical strategies. Whether you want to understand your audience better, stay updated with the latest tech trends in marketing, or expand your professional network, we've got you covered. So while you're driving on your morning commute or winding down after a busy day, let's explore the dynamic world of education marketing together.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Education Marketing Leader with Chris Raposo. Today I have a special guest joining me from Madrid, Spain. She is the international student recruiter for the Swiss School of Management, and her name is Sandra Sergio Sotto. Welcome to the show.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, Chris. Thank you for inviting me here. I'm super excited to share all the insights that I have with whatever, questions you will be throwing at me. I am super ready to share everything that I know.
Well, I'm very excited too. I usually stick to the continental United States with my guests, so it's always nice to get some different perspective from some higher ed marketers out of Europe. Now, I did a little bit of research on the Swiss School of Management, and we talked about it during our pre-interview. It's out of Switzerland, but the main campus is in Rome, but now they have a campus in Madrid, Spain, and you're in charge of recruiting international students to this new campus. So this is what we're going to focus the episode on today to help other marketers understand the nuances and what it takes to attract international students to one's campus. So could you share some of your insights into current market trends in international student recruitments, and particularly for campuses like the one in Madrid?
Okay, so now that we have been doing a lot of course, research and background study about what can we leverage from Madrid, having our campus here. Of course, most of the international students right now are looking for schools that are affordable for them to study. That's number one. And of course, the rising living cost in traditional destinations, for example, like Australia, Canada, the UK, it makes Madrid more appealing, to students because, for one, we offer an affordable cost of living and tuition fees. So students are increasingly looking for cost-effective study abroad options, all right? And another one is, of course, the customer experience. And Madrid's institutions are enhancing more the customer experience by improving their interactions with the students, providing support through educational agents. And these are more relevant to those big universities, So they have these educational agents that are based in different parts of the world, in different countries. And I think this is one thing. It's easier for students to interact or to ask information, in behalf of this big university. So that's one. Another thing I think is the flexible learning options. Madrid, Spain right now is offering this nomad visa. And I think this is another leverage that we have in Spain, that if you want to work and study at the same time, you can do that, If you are if you have your own business and you just want to travel the world, and at the same time study, then this is the best opportunity, for you to do that at the same time. And not only that, for us, what we have experienced previously, because before we started with Madrid, I was also the recruiter for Swiss School of Management in Rome, and we have offered the demand for the online and blended learning options. And this has worked a lot. And of course, we started with this during the pandemic, that most of these professionals, they want to leverage on this MBA programs as well, let's say. So what they did is to enroll and work at the same time. That's why our schedules as well for the MBA is flexible for the working schedules that they have, because we want to offer them the best learning experience at the same time without, of course, trying to alter the working schedules that they have. So it's like flexible for them. Another thing I think is we have increasing demand from India, from Pakistan, from Bangladesh, and mostly African countries. I think India, this is actually from the ICEF Monitor report. India and China, these are the highest countries that have a lot of international students who would want to, of course, study abroad. And so Madrid right now is having this kind of flexibility to accommodate, these international students. And of course, I think the most important is the favorable migration policies. It's not that difficult, to get student visa as long as you can attest that you are officially admitted to a program, you can support yourself while you are studying here. All of this stuff, it's not difficult for them to obtain a student visa. And definitely, when you get a student visa from Spain, it is a Schengen visa that allows you to enter to other European countries without the need for it. So this is a big, thing that we have in Spain.
Yeah, that's a big selling point. Now, Madrid especially, it's a beautiful city. Getting the opportunity to go to Spain to study is a highly privileged adventure for some of these students, for sure. Now, if you're familiar with the European Union itself, there are open borders mostly throughout Europe, but you just mentioned that you get your international students from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, China. Now, in a pre-interview, you mentioned something that was quite interesting because, these students, they get the visa to come to country. They'll be able to work there too. How do you ensure that they actually show up for school and don't just try to get an entry into the country,
Well, definitely, we make sure that our university is not also put in a position that we will have to, explain where the students are once they arrive, to Madrid. So we have a protocol for them to show definitely in person once they have received their student visa, and they have to inform us that they are already, in the territory of Spain. And we have to see them on campus, definitely. And we will monitor them every now and then, their attendance to the school, because this is an on-campus thing, right? So definitely there should only be a number of times that they can miss the classes. But more than that, we have to make sure that they are not really missing the class because they have, a role already or whatever. They have disappeared, And also this thing is that we also tell them, that when they receive the visa, we always inform them that in case, for example, that they miss the classes or they just disappear, we have to report them to the authorities. And it is our obligation, definitely. And we want to maintain, a good name for our institution as well, for the immigration. So we don't want them to put this in danger. So this is one thing that we are very strict.
Yeah, it's a lot at stake for the institution because, it's one thing to obtain a student visa, but if there are going to be discrepancies and hiccups, they may not be so willing to give the school in Madrid those student visas as freely as if they're constantly in compliance. Now, there are very different cultural differences within, India, China, the African countries. How do you tailor your marketing strategy to appeal to the different student demographics?
Well, for example, depending on what they need. Let's say, for example, with some of the marketing strategies that we use, for these Asian countries, is that we try to provide them with information that are very helpful for them. For example, how are they going to adjust, to the new environment since they are super far from their old home countries? What are the support that they can get, once they arrive here, things like that. We have, let's say, for example, we have students from Southeast Asia. Like in our campus in Rome, we have a lot of students from, we had several students from Sri Lanka, this kind of stuff. So when they inquire about, of course, the campus and everything, what we do is we provide them contact and assistance from students who are actually from their country. So they are the ones who explain to them what is the learning environment, how did they adjust. So it's like a feeling of inclusion already, even if you're not here. It's like, when you have somebody from your own country, you feel more comfortable, right? It's like you have a support system. Once you go there, people who have already experienced the environment and the learning stuff, of course, it's a different thing. So this is what we do. So if they inquire about us, we actually tell them, hey, you know what? We actually have students from your country. Would you like to talk to them? So we connect them with students who are currently studying and who have firsthand experience.
It's very helpful to have those student ambassadors bring that ease to these prospective students and have that social proof that somebody else has already done it before I make that leap.
It's a big help. It is a big help. And actually, they ask for, why should we choose you? Because you have a lot, something like that. Now, I always tell them, it will be a bias if I will be telling them about all the good things of the Swiss School of Management. So I don't really respond to that. I would always say like, hey, we have students who can tell you their experience about, the Swiss School of Management, how they enjoyed the program and things like that. And actually they can directly contact our students or our alumni in our LinkedIn profile. In our LinkedIn, we have there the alumni page, and they can connect directly. So without even telling us or without us even knowing, they have already contacted students, which is actually a great thing because this is in one way marketing for us.
Yep.
So yeah, that's why we always want to provide them with the best, because I believe that the students are the best marketers. They are the ones who will give, students as well to the institution.
That is correct. That is correct. Now, just a general question, because you have so many different people coming from so many different countries, what's the primary language that you teach at the school?
We teach English.
I see.
It's basically a requirement for them to have at least a minimum of B2 level, that's intermediate. This is also a requirement that they have to submit once they send in the application, the certificate of proficiency, English proficiency, that they have at least, a B2 level. But there are some countries, of course, that are, for example, in some Latin American countries, they want to study in Spain, for example, in Madrid in particular. But the problem is that these applicants or these students, these leads, they don't have enough English level, because they think that since we are in Madrid, we offer Spanish, classes, but we are an international institute. So basically our medium of instruction is in English. So this is a problem that we face. But the good thing is that in our institution, as a startup, we provide free English classes for those students who would want to take the course in a span of 6 months. If they have already enrolled and they have at least a B1 level, then we can help them, improve the language before they start the program by the intake, during the intake. So it's one thing that we offer, these students.
Yeah, that is good to know, because there may be from the English market as well, from England or from the United States, you may be able to attract some students too if they know that this campus primarily teaches in English. And just having that experience, that cultural experience to study in a year or two in Madrid is something that is going to last a lifetime. But let's talk about some of the unique selling points. You mentioned that you utilize current students, but they're with the Madrid campus and the location. Do you emphasize any of the cultural aspects, the food, the history in your marketing campaigns to attract those students?
Yeah. Usually we do this if our target audience are the bachelors, because these bachelor students, they're not only focused on studying, but like, I just want to go out of my country, have my own life, and party. And yeah, in our campaigns, for example, in our emails, in our content on social media, we always highlight this one, that aside from, of course, the learning experience that you will have here in Madrid, you will also get experience the culture, the tapas, the night outs, things like that. Aside from that, well, it's not only that thing, because of course, offering them this entails as well, like the safety things about, the place and something like that. So we also provide them, Madrid is one of the safest cities in the world, to be honest. And this is really true. I myself have been living here for 14 years. And I can attest, that even at 2 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock, you can walk all alone on the streets without having any issues of being robbed or, I don't know, things like that, or violence or something. No, we don't have this kind of issues. You can even walk in the streets with your bag open. It's not an issue at all. People will remind you, hey, your bag is open, but it's actually not a problem that we have right now. But definitely you have to be assured as well, or you have to make sure that you are also safe, on your own. So yeah, this kind of stuff. But what are the unique selling points or aspects that we have for the Swiss School of Management? Definitely, we take pride in our accreditation, of course. So we are international accredited by the IACBE. This is actually the International Accreditation Council for Business Education. And all our programs have successfully undergone evaluation and have granted, of course, the accreditation by this institution. We are also accredited by the EDUQUA. This is a Swiss quality label and an accreditation system for providers of adult and continuing education. And not only that, we are also an active member and affiliate of different private associations, business institutions like the BCNet. This is a network of international higher education institutes, both for private and public universities and colleges, and the International Association of Universities, or the IAU. And of course, the recognition that we have, since our main campus is in Rome, the Swiss School of Management is acknowledged by the Ministry of Education in Italy. So this reassures, of course, our prospective students of the quality and international recognition of the degrees that we are offering and what they are getting.
Yeah, that's very important, the international recognition, because I assume that most of your students, they're going to go on to other countries or back to their home country to utilize the education that they received to better the economy in their own communities, right?
Correct. And of course, not only that, why Madrid? Well, we are the cultural and economic hub. We have a lot of the cosmopolitan city that offers, of course, the rich cultural experiences that I think a lot of people have. The Madrileños, or the Spanish people, we are super fond of siesta, enjoying after a day. This is, we have a healthy lifestyle, to be honest,
Oh, yeah, I can tell. You guys are winners, too, with your Real Madrid team.
Right? So, yeah, actually, some of our leads from the bachelors are like, do you have a football team there? Yeah, it's basically like they just want to come here and then see the Santiago Bernabeu. So these are, some of the things that we offer. And definitely, the connectivity. Madrid is an excellent connection to other European and international destinations. That's why I told you, when they apply for their student visa, it's not only like specifically for Spain, but a Schengen visa that allows them to enter to other European countries, which is really, really helpful. And what else? The multicultural environment that Madrid offers is we have a diverse student body, and I think fostering a multicultural learning environment will enhance definitely the cross-cultural understanding and networking. And what else? Well, in our case, in Madrid, what we leverage from is, of course, our small class sizes, because this is actually an advantage for startups, right? And I think parents would benefit a lot from this, because our class size is ample to effective student learning. And this is with personalized attention from faculty, interactive discussions, and of course, more engaging learning experience for our students. And it's also easier for us from the team, of course, to monitor the students. That's why, you were asking about how come if they don't arrive or they did not show up, what will you do? It's easy for us because we have this, our maximum number of students for each class is only 15. We want to make sure that they have the best experience in the classroom. So it's like 15 maximum for each group. So it's easier for us to monitor and make sure that they have the best experience that we are offering.
That's amazing. So nobody can hide. So
No.
But you know what? The one of the biggest selling points here for the bachelors is the safety of the city, because of the parents' buy-in. They want to make sure that their kids are safe.
Yes, of course. We want to be transparent with that. Actually, in our email campaigns, we do not only bombard. We don't want to bombard. Our team, we always say we don't bombard, but we nurture. This is the information that we provide in our email campaigns. It's not only like, hey, application due, blah, 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 whatever, or don't miss out on this. No, because we always have to tell them, why would they choose Swiss School of Management Madrid? They know that we are offering these programs already, but our challenge is how to convince them to choose us. And so we provide them with reasons on why will they choose Swiss School of Management Madrid. And these are the reasons. So number one, the safety of the students, what we offer in our programs, things like that. And actually, this is a good thing as well for the parents, because of course, just like what I told you, it is a big challenge as well, for us to have these bachelor's groups, because it's like we are the parents, in behalf of the parents. who are far from them, and we make sure that they are safe. This is our obligation as well, to make sure that they are safe, that they are getting the best, and the parents are not wasting their money, sending out their kids or their children away from them and not learning or doing anything. So it's a huge obligation for us, but we are happy, of course, to accommodate them.
Yeah, definitely. And it sounds like you're doing a good job with that too, by everything you just shared. Now, besides email, are there any other online platforms that are most effective targeting these international students?
Yes. Of course, we make use of the free social media platforms, and I think this is really, really important. The good thing about the digital marketing, of course, we make use of LinkedIn. Depending on the target, LinkedIn is mostly for those professionals, like for the MBA and doctorate students. Facebook, Instagram, mostly on, the bachelors, the teenagers, and things like that. YouTube is basically more for documentaries, like, a student, the student videos or whatever that they will share about the experiences, something like that.
Yeah, like a spotlight, right? Like a student spotlight.
And we have this, we have a YouTube channel as well, where we highlight our students, their achievements, during and after the program, and this kind of stuff. And I think this is something that is really cost effective, for one, and it has a global reach. So it's really, really important. And the engagement and interaction is right there and then, so when they send you a message, you can automatically respond to them, which is very good. And the results are measurable, definitely. So we try to take a look at the analytics, the insights that allows us to track our performance, what is effective, what is not, what should be changed, what should be developed more, things like that. And these are really, really, really important. And the effect, of course, for now, the effective online platforms that we are using is the social media. This is very, very important. Facebook, Instagram, the LinkedIn, the YouTube. For search engines, we also get some of our leads from Google Ads. That's it. And what else? Student forums and communities on social media. There are a lot of Facebook groups about studying abroad in Spain. So we become a member of that. And of course, it's just easy to, communicate with the students asking for this particular question. And if you know that you can respond to them, you just address it, and then they start engaging with you. And actually, we get a lot of inquiries from this. So, some smart moves that you can make use and taking advantage of what you have on social media. So
what sort of student forums, like you said, Facebook, do you also tap into Unibuddy, the Ambassador platform, or Zemi?
No, not really. We don't really, we are not yet familiar with those types. But for example, there are a lot of Facebook groups that are like study abroad Spain, something like that, or students in Madrid, things like that. So you get inquiries from them. And actually, most of the inquiries that I get are from social media, from Facebook, and they say, hey, I saw that you responded to this one. I also need information. And we were able to get some applications, from this. And we think these are proven strategies, content marketing. Also, we have an influencer who works for the Swiss School of Management, definitely, because this is one thing that we cannot get rid, especially right now. This is a trend, on TikTok. We don't have a TikTok yet, but we have a student influencer, who helps us, and definitely our own students who, give their insights, spotlights about what they experience in our program. So, and another thing is that although they say that it's old school, in a previous webinars that I've attended, they said that is email still a thing, in marketing campaigns? Some say that, we resort more to the social media, TikTok, whatever. But yes, email is still, one of the best campaigns that you can use, or one of the best tools that you can use in marketing. And actually, most of the students, when you talk to them, they say, can you send me an email? So it's still an email. So, and we want to make sure, of course, that our campaigns are personalized. So even if we use for example, MailChimp, that you can just send all the emails to all the students, no, we actually send them one by one to all our students, because the content is super personal. This is very, very important. So we make sure that whatever information they share to us, this is one thing that we can make use in our follow-ups, in asking them like, hey, are you still on with your plans? The last time we talked, you said that you were on holidays. I hope you were able to. So you see, you have to be very, very particular with this. And actually, this creates a bond, between you and also the student. To be honest, we had students who were previous leaves a year or two, and then they came back. So it's kind of fascinating, that, when they send you a message, they like, we talked like a year ago, and you will remember because you had the personal, information shared. And this is like, oh yeah, I remember. And then we start talking and then they enroll. So you see, there are also some things that you have to remember as a recruiter. It's not only sending them the content or something, especially when you talk to them. I personally, on my end, before I start making the calls, I make sure that I am super happy because it shows on the voice, on how you, right? It shows on how you are super excited as well for them, telling them that, hey, you are super excited to have you here on board or whatever they share. So usually that's the positive feedback that I get, from the leads. Once I talk to them, there's, you know what, you're the only one that I talk to right now. We're super happy and super excited. So yeah, so you leave a mark. You see, you leave an impression to them and they get back to you. Because of course, if you are looking for some services, you would want to be given the attention, right? You would want to experience like, hey, you're comfortable to work with and things like that. So yeah, this is one thing I think that is a little bit underrated, but shouldn't be avoided. This is one thing that should be considered.
Yes, I know you're really into personalization because you showed up to some of Hannon Hill's, my company's webinars where we talked about personalization. So very well done on following through with some of the advice given there. And in America, they say smiling and dialing when you call. So you got to make sure, you're in the right mindset because you can hear that over the phone when you talk to somebody.
Definitely. And it's like, because it's when you have the lead, it's like a baby. You have to nurture them. You have to take care of them because if not, they will just leave. This is what I'm saying. And it's really nice, when they get back to you and say, hey, can you help me with this? Like definitely, and with all of this stuff, because they say that they feel more comfortable in doing that. Because I also mentioned to you before, when they send in their inquiry or application, they have sent that out to 10, 20 other institutions. But why would they get back to you? For one, how did you respond to them? How did you respond to their inquiry? If they get the attention that they were looking for, then definitely they will stick to that. And of course, asking them, making follow-up. Sometimes I just remind them like, hey, how are you today? That's it. Without saying anything like, hey, you have to apply now. No, it's not that because they will get mad at you. Like, come on, leave me alone. But it's only to show that, oh yeah, I remember you were, how was it? Okay, have a nice day. It's just for them to know that you are in touch and that you are here. So yeah, definitely. This is another thing that we have to always take into consideration, especially for those who make the cold calls, something like that. It's really important for you to be happy and positive. And I always tell myself before I start, maybe some of them won't enroll now or won't remember me, but they will the next time. So yeah, I always have to put in my head that something good will happen today and I will have always to be positive about it.
Power of a positive mindset. Now, during our pre-interview, we talked about a little bit about how the Madrid campus is still a startup. So you mentioned that you have partner schools that you partner with in Madrid. How do partnerships with local institutions help in marketing and recruitment international students?
Well, definitely, it's enhancing credibility and trust. That's very important. When you partner with reputable local institutions, it helps build your credibility and trust among potential students and definitely their families. Like local schools are often well regarded within their communities, and their endorsement can serve as a strong testimonial to our quality and commitment. So it's very important. And this trust can particularly influence, students in different regions and partners. And the parents definitely prefer a familiar and proven educational pathway. So if you are a startup, it's like you also need a guide, right? For those who have already established themselves. So it's not easy to start in a particular place or a country that you don't have anybody to support you. So you need this support, okay? And also what else? It's easier if you have local partners, it's easy for you to have local networks, right? because they already have their own network. So you just want to be within that network. And local institutions, they have already established networks that we can tap into. And this is really helpful. And for example, this includes relationships with educational agents, local businesses and alumni, all of which that can facilitate, introductions and provide valuable word of mouth referrals. So this is really, really important. And when you leverage on these networks, it allows you to reach a wider audience more efficiently than we could independently, right? So this is one thing. And I think another is the cultural and language support. Usually students would ask like, hey, we don't speak Spanish. Do you offer this? Actually, we don't offer Spanish classes because in a way, within the period, they will learn it. So why would you offer something that they will learn naturally when they come? But of course, when they come here, we have our local students who are Spanish who can guide them through, adjusting to the environment with the language, of course, with the networks that they have. And also, we have, for example, in aperitivos that we offer to students where they can connect. We have breakfast, with students that they can start bonding and having relationships with the locals. So all of this stuff, this is just one thing. Another thing I think that is very, very important when you have partner institutions in a particular country or in a particular place is, of course, the joint marketing efforts. They help you market what you have because they trust you, right? And co-branded marketing campaigns and joint promotional events, this can be highly effective. And I did that with our partner school here. So although we haven't, even last year, although we haven't had the on-campus students yet, all the activities that they have, I partner with them. Like, how can we leverage on this? So I prepare the marketing materials, I involve myself and also, some of our students. So what I did was also offer them, these students who haven't had any experience yet with what a business institution is, we offer them free classes that they can connect with our Rome campus. And all the webinars that our Rome campus offers, we also offer to these local students. So they get the experience, before they integrate into the program, this kind of stuff. So it's a very viable thing that we can do for marketing.
Yeah, very, very smart approach. So we talked about all of the good things that are happening at your campus in Madrid, but with every new thing, there are some challenges there. Well, what are some of the challenges you're facing with marketing a new campus to international students, and how do you overcome those challenges?
Well, definitely. We have these things that we always consider, awareness and trust. Okay. When you tell them that, we had just started last year, of course, it gives them a different impression. So this is a challenge on how you're going to convince them. We are a part, we have our campus here and we just started operation. So it's like, okay, so now what? Would they have a campus? Yes, we do have a campus. We have here the campus. So, a new campus usually lacks the established reputation of the main campus. So it makes it harder to attract attention, and trust from prospective international students. So one thing is, of course, they may be skeptical about the quality of education and the overall experience offered at the new location. So this is one. Another, of course, is the cultural and language barriers. How can students understand and effectively communicate with students from diverse cultural backgrounds? And this can be challenging, definitely. And what else? The logistical concerns, like international students worry about visas, accommodations, transportation, the other logistics associated with studying abroad. Like, a new campus may not yet have streamlined processes, for example, or sufficient information available to address all these concerns. And definitely, the competition. Like, you're going to compare your campus or your institution to this highly established institute. How are you going to compare to yourself, or how are you going to compete with a big fish, in the market, something like that. So, of course, and the education sector is highly competitive. We have a lot of institutions vying for the attention of international students. So, for us, it's really challenging, but I take pride, of course, in what we offer, because as a startup, what we have are some things that the big institutions cannot accommodate anymore. For example, the number of students in each class. These big institutions, they have 20, 50 students in each class. How are you going to have a personal connection with each of the students there? So before I was also teaching in one of the big state universities here. And it's not like having a class, it's a lecture. When they enter the class, it's mainly lecture. They just listen to the professor without any interaction. And of course, we don't want that. And I even asked the students, how do you even, does the professor even know you? And they say, no, the professor know us by the number, not by the name. So imagine, it's like, okay, B105, where are you? You don't even know the name. So of course, we don't want that because it's just like, attending a seminar and that's it. So yeah, this kind of stuff. So what else? How do we, of course, address these issues? Okay, so for us specifically, for one, the visas, we always, this is, Chris, very, very important. As a startup, we are very ambitious, definitely, to get students, but we don't want to make promises that we cannot deliver. Definitely. This is one thing that we don't want to do. Not because we are not like the others who are like, they call diploma meals. No, we don't want that. So whatever things that we cannot offer, we don't promise that. All right. So for one, when it comes to visas, they ask a lot about that. And also there are even questions like, can I even bring my family with me while studying, things like that. And to be honest, we are limited with this information. And we don't want to give them information that they can use, to enroll to our school. No, we don't want that. So what we do is we have immigration lawyers who can help them, of course, talk about this, especially in Spain. Every now and then the regulation changes. So it's like after a day or two, there's a new one. If you're not updated, then that's it. And we always tell them, contact the local Spanish immigration in your country. It's always best to get the real and true information from this sites, from these websites. Talk to them, ask them. And of course, when it comes to the Spain things, regulation, whatever, I told you, we have top, immigration lawyers who they can contact directly to tell them what they can do with the application for the student visa. So this is one. Accommodation as well. So you see, we have also contacted student, accommodations that they can talk to. We have several, and that's it. So yeah, we have even, there are even some that offers, for example, we have agreements that if they, for example, we have been offering this kind of agreements that what if we send you students, can you provide them with discounts at least to help them, something like that. So we are doing all of this stuff. And we also tell these students, like, if you have problems communicating with them with the local dialect, don't hesitate. Tell us, we will do that on your behalf to make sure that they are safe and they are not scammed. Because of course, there are a lot with the rising demand of international students and housings right now. They take advantage as well, to scam students, right? And we don't want that to happen. So yeah, we are always there helping them, having, this help. We give them the support that they need just to be sure that they will be safe when they come here. And we always say that, please make sure that you send in your application minimum 6 months, because we want to make sure that they are already ready. When they come to Madrid, they just attend the classes and that's it.
Yeah.
We want them to be having like, I don't still have accommodation, things like that. No, we want to make sure that once the program starts, they're just focused on studying and enjoying, the program. So yes, these are the things.
That is very, very insightful. So one final question. Let's say there's an American higher ed marketer traveling to Madrid this summer. They run into Sandra in Madrid at a coffee shop. They're thinking about upping their international student recruitment. What is one piece of advice you would give them?
One piece of advice I think is that as an agent, as a marketer, right? For students, you have to love what you do. Chris, all the jobs, they can pay you with what you need, but if you're not efficient with what you're doing, you cannot get the results that you want. I always tell myself, engaging with different people, with different students, it's like helping them with their future. So it's not something that I cannot really just disregard. When they share plans about their future, and you see the excitement that they have in themselves. It's like, oh my God, I will be part of the future that they want to create. And this is huge, So just like what I told you, you have to do as an international recruiter. It's a challenging thing for me. And I love, talking to students, talking to leads, talking to these professionals who want to still improve what they have, who still want to, make the best of the education to improve themselves. And yeah, I am super excited. And also another thing is just like what I told you, don't promise them that, some things that you cannot deliver. We don't really want that. If you cannot do this because this is what they want, then be honest that you cannot provide them with that. And you can refer them to other institutes if they want, but something for your own. And it's also a reputation that you will have to create and you will have to maintain and establish for yourself and for the institution.
Yes.
So
transparency is key.
Very, very important.
Sandra, if somebody wants to connect with you to learn more about you, your institution, or how to do international recruitment, how can they get a hold of you?
Okay, so yes, ladies and gentlemen, students, you want to come to Madrid? We are the Swiss School of Management Madrid. Our official website is ssm.swiss. We have there all the information about our institution and our campuses around the globe. Swiss School of Management Madrid is also our Facebook page, so you can see there all the updates of what we're doing and what we're offering. Madrid.ssm.swiss is our website. Swiss School of Management, LinkedIn, that's it. Check us out. You will have there all the alumni. Connect with them, chat with them, talk to them, ask them questions, please. This is very, very, very helpful for us and also for you to get all the information that you're looking for. ssm.global is our Instagram official page, and ssm.madrid, our Instagram page for Madrid. And also you can search me on LinkedIn, Sandra Sergio Sotto. I will be available to address all the questions that you will have regarding our programs and what we can do to offer you to come to Madrid and enjoy a very insightful and unforgettable experience while you are.
Sounds amazing to me. So, Sandra, thank you so much for being a part of the show. I will be sure to tag you in the recap and tag the Swiss School of Management so people can find it easily, and just appreciate all the insights you shared today.
Thank you so much, Chris, for this opportunity, and all the best as well for Education Market Leader.
Thank you. Bye now. Take care.
Bye.
Hey, thanks so much for tuning into the show today. If you enjoyed it, don't keep it to yourself. Share with your friends in your network. And if you have a moment, I would really appreciate a review of the podcast. That'll help other people find the show as well. Tune in every Thursday morning at 8 a.m. when I release another episode. Take care now. Have a good one, friends.